Have you ever felt like life is just uh, stuck on repeat?
Like,
You know? Like you keep running into the same problems, the same kind of difficulties, and you just can't figure out why.
oh, definitely. That sense that things are unfolding in a way you didn't plan or maybe couldn't even foresee, it makes you wonder if there's something bigger going on than just luck.
Exactly. And that's why we're back for our second deep dive into Teacher Liao's wisdom. Last time we touched on some foundational ideas, but today we're really digging into a big one, karma.
Right, and it's a concept most people think they know, but Teacher Liao offers a perspective that's quite revolutionary, really.
Absolutely. So our mission for you today, we want to unpack Teacher Liao's view on karma, get past those common ideas of just, good deeds get rewards, bad deeds get punishment.
We're aiming for a deeper understanding karma as this universal law of balance, of liberation even. It might shift how you look at the ups and downs in your own life.
Okay, let's dive in. Most people hear karma, and yeah, they think cosmic scorecard. Good in, good out, bad in, bad out. But Teacher Liao starts somewhere else entirely, with impermanence. How does that change everything?
It's a huge shift. For him, karma isn't primarily about reward or punishment. It is the manifestation of impermanence. Think about it. The universe is constantly changing, balancing, circulating. That process is karma.
So it's less about a moral judgment.
Much less. It's more like a fundamental operating principle of reality itself. Like gravity, maybe. It's always working.
Whether you believe in it or not.
Exactly. It binds everyone. And this leads to his core idea. Equality is cause, balance is effect.
Equality is cause, balance is effect.
Yeah. The yin and yang, that constant dance towards equilibrium. He even applies it to, say, physical health. Good circulation, good flow of qi and blood, that's karma circulation, working well.
Ah, so smooth flow means.
Smooth flow means no sin, no karma in that context.
Oh.
No obstruction, just balance. Illness or pain would be a sign of imbalance, of obstruction in that flow.
That's fascinating. Health itself is a kind of karmic reflection. So if that's the big principle, what are the mechanics? How does the cause and effect part actually work in our lives, according to him?
Okay, so he gets specific here. He talks about the cause, the train stemming from our inherited tendencies. These are deep-seated patterns.
Things we're born with, almost.
Sort of, yeah. Deep inclinations. And the effect that shows up as our acquired habits are...
Right, the things we learn, the patterns we build up over time.
Exactly. So those inherited tendencies shape what he calls our predestined fate. The big overarching themes, maybe?
The stuff that feels kind of unavoidable.
Potentially, yeah. But our acquired habits define our destiny, the path we actually walk day to day, which can be changed. Our habits create this resonance, you see. Repetitive thoughts, words, actions, they make things happen now.
So even if the past cause is set, our present actions, our habits, can actually steer the future.
That's the empowering part.
Right.
We have agency through our habits, through how we respond now.
Okay, that makes sense. So bringing it down to earth, how does this play out in daily life? Let's talk individual karma. Relationships, for example. He has some striking terms like entanglement and superposition.
Right, in something like marital conflict. He sees it as entanglement from those inherited tendencies meeting superposition from acquired habits. It's like...
old patterns meeting new reactions.
Precisely. He calls it karmic creditors meeting again. These deep debts manifest as conflict, and they keep going until the underlying karmic conditions are fully resolved, fully severed.
Wow. And what about his take on good deeds? This one really made me pause. He says doing good, even with the best intentions, can sometimes lead to no good return. How does that work?
It sounds counterintuitive, right? But it goes back to balance. True compassion for him isn't just doing what you think is good. It's about meeting a genuine need, maintaining equilibrium.
So if you give too much or give something that isn't actually needed or wanted...
Exactly. Even if you mean well, you might be creating an imbalance, an imposition. It becomes a thankless effort. Real kindness requires discernment, understanding what truly serves the balance.
That adds a whole layer of wisdom to just being nice.
Okay. He also talks about main karma versus secondary karma. Can you break that down?
Sure. Think of main karma like a major unavoidable debt. It shows up through specific people or events, and you basically have to deal with it. It's foundational.
Like that mortgage you mentioned earlier.
Kind of, yeah. Whereas secondary karma is lighter. It's more like stuff that arises from actions you choose to initiate in the moment, maybe smaller conflicts or issues.
And that's easier to resolve.
Generally, yes. Especially with proper understanding or guidance. If you instigate something, you take on the heavier main responsibility. The person reacting might have the lighter secondary aspect.
Okay, that clarifies things a lot. So that's the individual picture.
Right.
What about bigger events, pandemics, disasters? Does he see a collective element to karma? Oh, absolutely. He calls it collective karma. Shared negative actions from the past, he suggests, lead to shared suffering now.
So things like pandemics, he saw those as collective karma manifesting.
He did. He spoke about receiving insights, um, quite specific and tragic predictions, actually, about the scale of such events, the human cost. He saw these not as random, but as the maturing of collective karmic conditions.
And he stresses these conditions mature in the present moment.
Yes, according to natural laws, unaffected by our human plans or wishes. It's immediate, inescapable when the conditions ripen.
Which implies you can't just wish away or pray away current suffering if it's rooted in this deeper main or collective karma.
That's his view. Current suffering, especially main karma, is the direct result of past causes playing out now. You can't avoid it. Interestingly, he also says present happiness is often the result of past forgiveness.
That's a powerful flip side.
It is. And crucially, he says even miraculous powers can't just erase karmic force. They might help you see the cause, understand the past.
But knowing isn't the same as resolving.
Exactly. Resolution requires applying the right methods, doing the work yourself. You still have to untie the knot.
Okay, so that brings us to the how. If we can't just pray it away, what is Teacher Liao's path to liberation, to resolving this karma?
It's radical, really. True repentance, he says, isn't about saying sorry or performing rituals. It's 100% acceptance of what is.
100% acceptance, wow.
Fully accepting the present situation, no matter how difficult. That acceptance brings peace to the karmic creditors, the unresolved energies. That's genuine deliverance.
So resolving karma means taking responsibility for these obstacles.
Responsibility beyond just your normal duties, yes. And resolving conditions is about consciously bringing things to a close, ending future entanglements by settling things now. It's ownership and release.
Acceptance and release. It sounds simple, but probably incredibly hard. He offers 3 steps too, right?
He does. They are. 1, that 100% acceptance of present circumstances. 2, enjoying both pain and pleasure, not clinging to one or resisting the other.
Experiencing them fully without judgment.
Kind of, yeah. And 3, letting go in the present moment, just releasing attachment. Following these, he says, resolves karma and brings you back to your true, clear mind.
And this connects to the middle way.
Exactly. The middle way isn't about compromise. It's about not getting stuck in extremes, not clinging to good or bad. Abiding in a right mind, a balanced state. Clinging to either side is a crooked path because balance naturally includes both.
It sounds like a path to real inner freedom. So, practically speaking, how do we cultivate this? Are there tools?
Yes. He talks about raising your spiritual energy, your vibration, to meet the karmic imbalance with equality. He also emphasizes focused chanting, like using the sound Om.
Chanting Om, how does that help?
He says that focused, undisturbed chanting can create a resonance that actually cuts the lines of karmic cause and unfortunate effect. It purifies mind, body, spirit, severing those karmic roots.
So it's a vibrational tool for release.
A powerful one, used correctly. But ultimately, he always comes back to the Mayan's lock must be self-untied.
It's on us. No one can do it for you.
That's the core message. Guidance helps, for the release is internal. And this leads him to challenge some common fears.
Yeah, he gets pretty provocative here. Things like birth debt or specific sins like abortion or killing. He says these are often man-made karmic fears, fabrications.
He does. He suggests these concepts are often human constructs, sometimes used to create fear, rather than reflecting the true balancing nature of karma. For him, these events are simply part of the universe rebalancing past actions.
That's a really different way to look at things we typically feel immense guilt or fear about.
It is. And he goes even further, suggesting that someone seen as evil now might have been intensely good, but wronged in a past life, leading to a vow for revenge or rebalancing in this one.
So it completely dismantles simple good-bad labels across lifetimes.
It shows the complexity of the long-term balancing act. True wisdom, he says, sees beyond the surface phenomenon to the underlying truth. And self-reflection, understanding these laws, is way more powerful than just praying for intervention.
Okay, wow. We've covered a lot. Teacher Liao's view of karma is so much richer, more complex, and ultimately maybe more empowering than the usual take. It's not about reward punishment, but this deep, universal law of balance, impermanence, and circulation.
And the key to liberation isn't fighting it, but radical acceptance, enjoying the ride both ups and downs and letting go right now in this moment, realizing the power is within us to untie our own mental knots.
It really shifts the focus inward. So, a final thought for everyone listening. If karma is this constant balancing, and this moment is where our power lies.
Then what old debts, what patterns, what stories might you be clinging to, maybe without even realizing it, and what freedom could you find right now just by choosing to accept and let go? The power to resolve, it seems, was never outside you. It's right here.